Did you ever consider that there could be some knowledge behind a simple thing as putting a pole in a hole? Yeah, I don't think about that when I work. But now that I started making YouTube videos, I understand that what I find as a common all day activity may not be so for everyone. So I'm gonna show you a small trick about putting a pole in a hole. Now I have dug 7 holes here. I'm gonna put poles in them. I'm gonna put up a wall so that I can have more firewood stashed here. And you're gonna shut up now. Zaffo, come here. Come here. Yeah, get your stick and come here and say hi to people. Say hi to people. Hey, no, not the rack. You cannot use that one. You can use this one. Yeah, go, 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 go. You see? This one. Okay? Sit. You. Go. Play. Sorry about that. Zaffo is important. Now I've dug 7 holes. I have 7 poles. The heaviest ones, strongest ones, I put in the corners and one in the middle. And now I have 4 holes left that I'm going to put the next 4 poles in. So what do you do when you're going to... Well, you can put a pole in a hole, but you want it to stay. You want it to be sturdy and stable and stay there. So I've been digging these holes, and you can see about how deep. Would you dig them any deeper? Yes, you would, if the ground wasn't full of rocks. I've gotten out a lot of rocks, but now I've hit, if not bedrock, then places here where there are bigger rocks that I can't dig out without making the hole way too big. So I'm gonna go with this, and that is because these poles are not gonna hold up a lot of weight. They're gonna hold up a wall, and I'm just gonna have firewood leaning against that wall. So they don't need to be that sturdy, but I want to make them sit in a sturdy way. So what I do is I take the pole and I get it to be sitting somewhere in that hole where there's not absolutely just rock. But what I do then is I put rocks down around it, so that they will wedge it down before putting all the soil down upon it, or at the same time of doing it. I make sure that I get a lot of the rock that I already dug out. One like this, beautiful in the corner. They will wedge in around the pole, and when the soil comes onto it, the soil that I already dug out of the hole, they will help wedge it down. So that's one of the tricks. And when I've done that, I'm going to show you the next trick. Stones down there. This is not a stone to go in. Lots of stones in the bottom. That's where they do the job the best. And you can have the turf and soil around it as well. Get a lot of the good stones out there and get them in around the pole. You see already now, it's not steady, but I can leave it there. And what I have, almost leave it there, what I have to help me, what I did have, what's that? It's over here. Sorry, just gotta get out of the frame for a few seconds to get my stumper. Now a stumper is a very good tool when you put in poles in holes, because you need to make a firm foundation like you do with everything that you build. if the foundation is not sturdy, then you can't make up for that as you go up. If you build a chimney and the bottom of the chimney is just wobbly and annoying, and then you start 2 feet up building it sturdy, that's a bad idea. It doesn't help. It's got to be sturdy from the get-go. So a good foundation is very important to have, and you do that by putting rocks in around the pole and by stumping it as you go. You could also put in water. Now I don't have water at hand, but it has been raining for the last couple of days, and that has made the soil here a bit more clayey, and we like that. I'm not using concrete or anything that has been industrially produced, because it's okay with rocks, soil, the turf, and everything I dug out of it. And you can see it's very muddy. That's because of the rain. So today, hey, Chico! I didn't throw it yet. Go. I have the rag here because look at that. There they are, big ones. They should have been with me from the beginning, but I didn't see that we had a few bigger stones too. But they are okay to put in at the top as well. Just need a lot of good ones at the bottom. But it's fine to have stones at the top as well. So, all that in there. Get the rocks in to secure it, and get your stumper. Yep, that's it. Now, is this steady? Not quite. We're gonna put in more soil, more poles, and at the end, when I'm done putting in the poles, I'm gonna find more soil from around here, put on top of these holes again, and stump it even more, because the soil will set as time goes, and you can't have too much soil around those pole holes. So that's the idea of putting a stake in a hole or a pole in a hole and making it stay. Now, these don't need to be completely firm as when you put concrete in a hole to live, because they're not gonna carry anything. If you put poles in a hole and they're gonna be the foundation of a house or a terrace, a deck or something, then you need them to not be wobbly and to not be able to give. You can put them in the holes, pour concrete in, and have them stand as steady as they will never come out again. I don't need that for this project, because the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna turn the camera around to show you as I explain. The next thing I'm gonna do, when all 7 poles are in here on a line, I'm gonna take branches like these, little trees that are still flexible, and I'm gonna weave them in between those poles. And weaving them makes the poles just sit, because then they can't move anywhere. This is just going to be a back wall, so all the weight is going to come onto it from that side, from the wood and out. There's no weight coming down from up above carrying any other construction. So it's okay if they're not completely sturdy. Sturdy is the wrong word to use. They are sturdy poles, and the wall will be sturdy, but it does not have to be completely stable because it's not carrying weight on top of it. So that was the educational part of me putting a pole in a hole, and I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Zaffo, and she is enjoying herself as well. As long as Mom just throws a stick or two, then she's okay. If I don't, she starts whining and thinking that I am such a boring mom. So the best thing is to throw a stick or two in between, then I have 5 minutes to work, and then I'll have to throw another stick. So that's my boss, this one, and she decides how the work day goes, more or less. So that's it, yeah. For those of you who've seen other videos, you would know that up behind this place is my big pine that I botched the felling off, but she's still up here, and I'm just almost done taking off all the bark, and I am considering whether to cut her in half or not. I will have to cut it anyway because I need 7.5 meters, and there's only 6 meters on this one, and then there can be another piece on the other one. And doing so, I'll need to make a connection between the trunks that go under the house. This one is going to go under the house and be the foundation of the house. And as I just told you, that needs to be very sturdy. And what you would ideally do is that when you need to scarve, as it's called in Swedish, I don't really know the English phrase, but you know, I'll have to put two pieces of the trunk together, some kind of connection there, and that connection should ideally be on one of the carrying boulders that are under the house. The house is situated on rocks, big rocks that carry up the house, and then in between those big rocks, where the underlayer comes, there are smaller rocks just to fill it in. And ideally that place where the two trunks are connected should not be like floating in that area. They should be, the connection of them should be right on top of the carrying boulders. But where are the carrying boulders? I will have to dig out a large trench in front of the house to find out where they are. And do I want to do that now? No, I don't. But do I want to be able to move the trunk? Yes, I do. So instead of cutting it now, and maybe cutting it in the wrong place, I would have to put some chains and ropes and block and tackle on it if I want to move it. And I do want to move it a little bit. Certainly do want to roll it so it's not on the same side all the time. But that's a whole different story. And that could be a whole different video as well. So right now, there's a little dog, very anxious to to have a stick thrown for her. So I'm going to do that. And I hope you enjoyed this and maybe learned a bit. And I will continue working till it's dark in half an hour or so. So thank you for following me. And do give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, everyone.